Hello again. Today we got a Samsung Tab S9, which is going around £650 at the moment, and it's doing nothing. I mean, it's dirty, but it's charging. You can see, but it's not giving any picture. I tried to force a restart on it, and you can see the charging is dropped down. It's starting again, so it's responding to the buttons. I tried to restart the charging. Maybe we can see something now, and it's picking up very nicely. It's around 9 volt. It's first is charging slow and after much faster, so it's passing through the charging to the battery. It's running from battery a little bit, and after it's picking up to 1.5 ampere, so it's charging the battery. That one is, I think, is good. Now this one is really dirty, so it's hard to hold it. When you try to open it, you're just using a little alcohol on the side. It's gonna find a way to get inside, and we're gonna use a little heat, not too much, because maybe the screen is good, maybe something else the problem. Many times with Samsung tabs, the connector is get loose, the screen connector, which could cause exactly the same issue. That one is usually with other tabs, but I have seen much cheaper, but you never know. So slowly but surely I started to open it up. The point is, you don't wanna force it too much. The alcohol need 10 seconds to 30 seconds to work through. You don't want to use too much, you don't want to swim in, because in that case, if it's reached to the screen, then it can cause permanent damage. When you're using the heater, you don't want to use more than 130 Celsius, because it can damage the screen. Also our little suckers, but that's a different story. When I had enough with the plastic one, I tried with the blade, a little bit more force, but yeah, be gentle, okay? For this tablet, this is the first time to be opened, so it needs a little bit more patience. Obviously this record is a little bit speed up, but basically after 10 minutes I was able to open it up. And we're gonna slow down. Once it starts opening, check where is the display cable, because obviously you have a limited amount. Samsung was very generous in this case. We have a few centimeter movement, which is very nice. And you can take aside a little bit the screen. The screen cable is held by that little metal piece with one screw. Once you take that one out, it's a normal Phillips screw, nothing special. Finally, some companies still use normal screws. We can flip up this metal piece and pull out from the other side. The right connection is for the battery. There is the testing points, and the left one is for the screen. I checked the connection, I couldn't see any obvious damage. So what I did, I hook it up again, try to turn it on. First I didn't saw anything, but as I tried to lift up the screen, I glimpsed the Samsung Tab sign on the screen. Now this could mean two things. That time I didn't see that one actually, because I was concentrating on the cable, but I'm still thinking it's maybe something around this connector, which is quite common with the Samsung tabs. Many times the problem is not the internal pins, it's basically the outside which is connecting to the main board. So I tried to see any loose pins, any misalignment, but I couldn't see anything. So I put a little flux on the external connections. I mean, that is connecting to the main board. Sorry, I tried to find the right angle. And I set up the hot air station to 300 Celsius and 150 liter per minute. Basically that should be enough to heat up slowly the board and the connector, but not melting away the plastic. It's like a standard PFC connection. You can find many videos about this. The flux will immediately get into the battery connector, but I'm not worried about that one, it's really easy to clean up. Under the microscope, you're just checking when it starts changing the color on the soldering point, and you know it's the right temperature. After I put down a cooling pad to take away the heat, but I didn't press against the plastic because that could, the plastic is really in soft period at time, so it's really easy to damage. Now, after a tiny cleanup, let's test it again. Once we connected the screen, after we connect the battery. If the battery is connected and the signal is going through, so accidentally it's turning on or something, then it can damage the screen circuit. You don't want to do that. It's a little bit visually work, but let's see. So it's out of reflection because we have a few lights on the ceiling. And we got screen for a second, but after we lost it. Now it's not just the backlight gone, because otherwise we should see like a shadow on the screen. but it's nothing there. I was waiting, maybe it's booting up and, you know, it's something else coming up, but no. I get the charger again. And it's charging completely normally. So it's not like battery was flat and is dropped down. Now we should see a charging screen now. So I went to a wide goose chase. Checked the surrounding capacitors, connectors. We get some cable from Samsung, but not a full extent, but it's enough to make some tests. Actually, I started to checking all the pins. Everything is going through, the connection is just perfect, even when the cable is, you know, all turned around. I try to move the cable connector, try to push it, you know, maybe that's the problem. Nope. I peeled off this anti-static protector from the screen, because obviously it must be a little border, and maybe we can see some damage there. Maybe some liquid got inside, you know. I have seen that one before. Maybe we have a blown capacitor. I don't know. I checked for shortages. I don't bore you to the death, but I spent an hour to get through and I find basically nothing. Finally, I had enough and I made an order for a new screen. Once the new screen arrived, I hooked it up and yep, it started working. So if you're getting into the same situation when everything looks alright, but only the Galaxy Tab sign coming up and nothing else, then just get a new screen and that's gonna sort out the issue. Alright, thank you for watching. That was fun for me. I hope you enjoyed as well. If you like it, give a like, please. If you don't, just give a comment. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.